Boom diggity. Uh, welcome to the Shark Bite Show. I'm Nick Habich, and I am here with my buddy Ryan Hackinson. Ryan, how you doing, buddy?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for doing this with me. I am hyped to have you help me bring back this podcast. It's been a couple year hiatus. We used to do really cool interviews with people, and then I stopped, and now we're starting again. And that's all the explanation anyone needs. Um, Okay, Ryan. So let me ask you, what made you walk through the doors of SharkBite for the first time? Like, what brought you in?
Um, Probably about a year and a half ago now, I just knew I needed to do something different with my fitness. I had been going to just a regular box gym for years, really lacked a lot of motivation and direction. And so I just knew I needed to change everything up. And coming to some place like this was definitely something drastically different.
Well, cool. Can you remember what your first workout was?
I don't remember. I can't remember what my first workout was. No.
Well, can you remember what was going through your mind, like during your first couple workouts?
Oh, I thought I was gonna die. Like I I mean
Why is
it
that?
was such it was just such a drastic change from walking around like the old box gym I'd go. You listen to music in your headphones. You wouldn't talk to anybody. You barely break a sweat, and then you'd go home and you get nothing accomplished. Here, within 20 minutes you're covered in sweat. You've jumped on boxes. You lifted weights. You've jumped on a bike. You've done 14 different things that I would have never done at my old gym or several other old gyms that I went to.
Oh, well, that's cool. Well, then, all right, that's actually a good follow on. So, like, what kind of stuff were you doing for workouts before, like at your old gym or like maybe outside of the gym?
Just the traditional, like, you know chest and tries, back and buys and stuff like that, and then you'd stand there or get on a treadmill and try and fight boredom off for a half hour, 45 minutes while you're sitting there walking on a treadmill or jogging or something. Or here you don't have to fight off boredom because in an hour it's all really fast. It's fun. You get to joke around with people that you see every day that are your friends. It's completely different.
Cool. I'm glad to hear that. Have you had a moment where you left the gym and you were like, I am so proud. Like that was so freaking cool. I can't believe I did that.
I've had a lot of moments like that. When I first started here, I couldn't even hold on to the bars or anything like that to do a pull up, but now I can do a pull up. I can do a few pull ups. So I mean that was a big moment. Um, One of my first weeks here was the Murph workout, which I almost quit after that, as we've talked about. But after doing it the second time, I realized how much farther I've gone from the first time. So yeah, there's been a lot of moments where I've noticed a big improvement in a short amount of time.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. Was there something that surprised you about the gym? Like maybe something you thought before you came in, but then like after having been here for a little while, you were surprised that that was the case?
Um, what I didn't realize is like one, just how inviting everybody was, and the community was the big surprise. Like again, all the other old gyms I went to, I didn't know anybody there, or
Mhm.
anybody that worked there, or the staff, or anything. And now you come here, everybody. Everybody knows you, and it really feeds off a lot of different energies that way because you're around your friends instead of just a bunch of strangers you don't want anything to do with.
Cool. Yeah. So like being around other people and then like hanging out and making it like a fun environment keeps it enjoyable.
Yeah, and before this, I wouldn't have thought being in a group exercise class would be something I would want to do. Like I thought that I would just do my own thing and be fine with it. But now I wouldn't want to go back the other way because I know I would be completely bored and unmotivated and just wander around an old gym.
Yeah. Can you share why you didn't think that like a group? would be something you'd want? Because I think a lot of people feel that way.
I just don't think it would be in my comfort zone, like I mean, I'm not, somebody that runs around and talks to everybody at all times or, super
Mhm.
outgoing. So I don't think it would have been something that I would have sought out initially until I experienced it here. I now, like I said, I wouldn't want to go back to it because it would just be boring.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I would really struggle to go back to being like on your own after having done it with like a communal group for so long. Like I don't, I have respect for people who can do it, but I don't understand how they do it.
No, I couldn't do it. I
Yeah.
just couldn't do it now.
Um, so why is it important that you're in shape for like to you? Why is that important?
Obviously, longevity. Uh, I work in law enforcement, so I want to be able to stay in shape for that, and be safe for me and my family, and help others. And just the biggest thing for me, I just wanted to feel better. I wanted to move better. I wanted to get stronger, and those three things, I've tripled it, I think, in the last year and a half. I definitely moved better. I definitely feel better. I've gotten stronger. So all those three goals there, I've surpassed them, and obviously I have to keep working on it and have ways to go. But those are the three big things.
That's cool. That's cool. So is there anything that you like maybe thought before you joined that you maybe thought you could never do? Maybe something you'd seen or like something you'd tried to do beforehand, but now you've seen that you're able to?
Um, I don't know. Like I said, pull ups. I didn't think I could do a pull up after,
Mhm.
just the initial attempt. I'm like, that's never going to happen. But the pull ups happened. I started running again, which I thought the running, because I used to run when I was younger, but I gave it up, and then it kind of started hurting, so I just stopped running. But now I've started to be able to run again, which is a big thing in my life. So I'm happy about doing that again. So there's a lot of things that I probably wouldn't have tried because I just thought that was past, I guess, in my life, or I just couldn't do it anymore because nobody was pushing me or showing me I could do it or anything like that. So instead of just giving up on it and letting it go to the wayside, kind of facing those challenges is really something that has excited me about fitness.
Yeah, that's cool to hear, right? Like I think something happens to guys, especially in like their 30s, 40s, 50s, where like our peers start slowing down. And if you're not around like other guys in that age bracket, it becomes very easy to say like what you said, like, oh, I'm past that. Like I don't do things like that anymore, right?
Right, just like, and I think you hit the nail on the head. Like, some of my peers aren't active, I guess, and so like when I talk about like doing box jumps or jump rope, like people don't jump a lot, I guess, in life, and so when they hear that, they think, well, I've got a bad knee, I can't do that, or my back hurts, I can't do that. But it's more that they don't try than actually know that they can.
Yeah, and then I think that like they're once they have some struggle, they just assume, oh, this is something I'll never do again. So for the next like 40 years, they just never try again. That's crazy, right?
Right, and it's scary because I was settling into that mind view. Like I was getting comfortable with the thought that these things were going away, which is now looking back on it, I'm glad that I didn't. But it's scary that it could have very well gone that way.
What was the trigger for you to get out of that? Because I think there's a lot of guys who are on the teeter, right, of like, oh, this might just be what I do forever now. Like I don't ever try these things again.
I don't know. I just kind of got sick of everything. I just got sick of not being able to lose weight. I got sick of not sleeping good, and I just got sick of a lot of things in my life that I decided I have to start making a change somewhere. So I figured this would be a good first step. So I'm going to do something that I'm completely uncomfortable with, go around a bunch of people. I have no idea who they are. And, I lucked out coming here. I really did. Because, if it was a bad experience, I probably would have walked away, went right back to what I was doing before. and would have been in the same spot, But again, coming here, everybody's welcoming, everybody's friendly, the coaches are great, and it really it changed my life.
Oh, that's so cool to hear, man. Yeah, we always talk to our coaches about that, like how all it takes is like one experience, especially right at the beginning, to make it so that people just say like, "Oh, I guess I'm never trying again." And if you're not like wildly welcoming that first like one, two, three, four, 5 times somebody comes in, you can make it so that they just like never try fitness again.
Yeah, and I remember the first workout. I think Val was coaching, but you were in the class, and I was kind of lost a little bit, and we were doing something with barbells, maybe squats or something. And then I remember you just said, just get through the workout. Don't worry about weights or anything like that. Just get through the work. And I still think of that today. Like I still say that to myself every day. Like just get through the workout. But that one sentence really helped me like kind of get comfortable and you know don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just get through the workout. You'll get your exercise in. Just do what you can.
Oh, that's super cool to hear. Thanks, man. Well, like, you've done a lot of really impressive shit since you joined, right? You did a Savage race with us. You
Yep.
ran a Savage race. That was pretty cool. What was
Yep.
that? 6 miles, 3 miles, something. I can't remember one or the other. Right. And then, you've joined us for basketball games. What else have we done over the last year? Cause you've done a bunch of stuff. You did a CrossFit competition, right?
Yep. We did. I did the Open last year. I'm going to do it again this year. We did the intramurals and stuff. So yeah, it's been a lot of change over the last year and a half, and just getting to know everybody here and making like true friends that it's rare that when you get older you make friends. I don't know, I guess especially men, we kind of shelter ourselves and just sit home or don't talk or not as
Yeah.
social
Yeah.
as we should be. and
Yep.
and this is like I said, coming here you actually make friends.
Ah, well, cool, man. I'm glad to hear that. That's one of me and Shannon, like the whole gym started because Shannon and I met each other at another gym. And we were like, what's up, man? And that's the beginning of everybody's friendships. It's just that like two dudes in their 20s said hi to each other. Um, okay, so quick facts about you, quick ones. So if you had a theme song coming out when you were going to work out, what would that theme song be? What's your entrance music?
Good. Wow. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you.
You got to come up with one, or it's going to be Lady
Oh.
Lumps. That's the rule.
All right. I guess Enter Sandman.
Okay, I like it. Um, if you could challenge one of the coaches, specifically Val, and beat her in a workout, what would the exercise be, or what would the movements be, or what? Pick one.
I don't think I could beat Val at anything.
You got to pick something. You got to pick something. What would you do? You have your entire lexicon. You can pick whatever parameters you want. What is it?
I think I'd have to go bench press.
Perfect. Okay, she might actually still win that, but I'm with you.
No, I think she'd win that too.
um, okay, if you could know if there's one thing you wish you knew before starting the gym, what would it be?
Um, I mean, not to beat a dead horse. I wish I would have known this was available years ago. I mean, that's the big thing. If I knew this was here 10 years ago, I would have been here 10 years ago. And probably it's my fault for not, you know, uh, investigating it further, or maybe it was just the right time for me to find it. I don't know,
Mm.
but that's the big thing. And if I could tell anybody that has never been to a place like this or this place, just come in and try it. Just come in, walk through the doors. Walking through the doors the first time is the toughest part.
Well, cool, dude. That's what I was going to ask you next, but you did it. So perfect. Um, thanks, Ryan. I appreciate you hopping on with me. I hope this works out.
Absolutely, thanks.
I'm proud of you, man. You've kicked ass for the last year and a half. Thank you for everything you do. Thanks for hopping on the podcast with me.
All right, thanks.
All right, hold on.